What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I truly do. And if you are, please make sure you leave a like on the video. And if you're not already, YouTube just did another subscriber purge. So please do make sure you're still subscribed. If that subscribe button below the video is red, that means you're not. If you're not, I would greatly, greatly appreciate you subscribing today. I would really, really appreciate it. It tells YouTube that people actually care about my channel, and then sometimes they actually recommend my videos. Now, you're tuning in to the Jussie Smollett news headquarters here with your host, Jeremy from the Quartering. We've already seen a little bit of a copycat from Jussie Smollett in a hilarious self-own. We've also seen the brother of Jussie come out, as well as the reminder to everybody that Jussie Smollett is still likely going to be ordered back to jail. That's just the reality here. Whether he postpones it for a week or a month or a year, dude's going back to jail. And I'm going to start off with this article from the AP. Jussie Smollett remains in legal limbo via the AP. Limbo with the prospect of being ordered back to jail, a very real possibility. The former star of the TV show Empire was sentenced. We already know kind of what happens. Under the conditions of his sentence, Cook County Judge James Lynn said Smollett must serve 30-month probation, though he may leave the state and travel without restrictions. That means he could travel to places like LA or New York to try and resurrect his career. But that will be difficult to do, publicists say, and the latest development may not have done him any favors. Quote, I think he's actually doing more harm than good. By fighting the conviction and the sentence, said publicist Eric Rose, people can be very forgiving of celebrities who admit wrongdoing and apologize, he said. But instead, Smollett is keeping his name and face in the headlines, reminding people of the circumstances of his conviction. And that I agree with by 100%. They continue. That's what we call death by 1,000 cuts, Rose said. From a reputation perspective, that is horrible. During his trial, Smollett testified that I've lost my livelihood because of the charges against him, including losing his role in Empire. He has since worked behind the scenes, writing, directing, and producing a film called B-Boy Blues that recently won the fan favorite narrative feature award at the American Black Film Festival. While work in front of the camera may be difficult to find, Smollett will get opportunities working behind the scenes, particularly because he has a sister and other family members with successful careers in the industry, says publicist Danny Duraney. Anything is possible. Smollett, who was, of course, convicted of 5 low-level felony counts, also remains in legal limbo with the prospect of being ordered back to jail to serve the rest of his sentence, a very real possibility. Smollett told Chicago police in January, well, we already know what happened, right? Outside the jail on Wednesday night, his defense attorneys said having to face charges a second time went against his constitutional rights. They also said that Jussie was the target of a racist justice system and people playing politics. You mean the type of politics that a corrupt politician got the charges against you in the first place dropped? Remember Kim Fox, that corrupt politician? Well, we're going to get to her in a second. They have 49 days. Okay, for example, so the appeal process will almost certainly take months, if not years, with multiple deadlines, extensions of deadlines, and new deadlines, and more extensions. For example, now that Smollett's attorney has filed their notice that they intend to appeal, they must send the court the documents, transcripts, and other paperwork. They have 49 days. The Chicago attorney with extensive experience filing appeals, adding that postponing the deadline for 2 or 3 49-day chunks of time is routine. So that's another 6 months. Comey explained that once that's done, his attorneys will have 35 days to file their brief, but they can get that deadline extended up to 4 times. Then when it comes to prosecutors to turn around, the court will give them as many as 4 35-day extensions too. If the case goes quickly, they could have oral arguments this time next year. But if the case goes at the normal pace, you'll be calling me in the summer of 2023 to tell me about the oral arguments. That they might even have to wait a couple of months or more for a decision, and depending on how that goes, it could be appeals toward possibly the U.S. Supreme Court. Smollett also still owes $120K in restitution and the $25K fine, though the Chicago Tribune reports the money isn't due for 30 days. And in the meantime, he is still being sued by the city of Chicago for the $130,000 the city said it paid out in police overtime. Kim Fox's in Jussie Smollett case, our justice system failed. Here's how. Remember Kim Fox? How corrupt she was? So corrupt that they had to basically issue another a special prosecutor. This was, and all of this, by the way, is the basis for why Jussie Smollett thinks that he should be done. What he's trying to say is, this is double jeopardy, that it's not fair because, he's just, a gay black man getting oppressed by the system. No, dude, what happened was you should have been prosecuted the first time around, and a corrupt politician and, words from Michelle Obama and Kamala Harris and all these people got you off. And favors on top of favors on top of favors is why you got off, because you're rich and you're in Hollywood. You didn't have to face the same justice anyone else would. It had nothing to do with the color of your skin. That much I can assure you. You should never have been let off in the first place. And I believe Kim Foxx should be investigated as well. But that's for another argument, I suppose. On top of this, Smollett's brother, don't forget this too, by the way, Jussie Smollett is suing the Osundario brothers. On top of all of this, because he is such a lunatic, because he is so obsessed with himself and so convinced that he is innocent, that he's going to keep reminding everyone of just how guilty he is. Look at some of these memes. Scam likely. They got Jussie calling on the cell phone. Don't worry, you'll be safe in here, Jussie. Now we just wait on R. Kelly till we enjoy your new empire. Mexican word of the day, Smollett. This fake crime stinks so bad you can smell it. You got Bill washing Jussie's hair. You got, all sorts of course, comparisons to Bubba. Was it Bubba Wallace? Bubba, whatever his name is. Another. Oh, it was a noose. No, it was a garage pull down. The memes are unbelievable. It really, yes, sir, the sauce is in there. The typical line every time you ask McDonald's, did you put the sauce in there for my nuggets? They say it is, but it never is. I mean, it's hilarious to me that him and his brother is out here trying to blast Chicago. Well, he's inspired some new people. This is the new Jussie. BLM activists convicted after attempting to frame the Proud Boys for their own crimes. Getting 5 years in the clink. A group of BLM people were convicted on federal charges after attempting to frame the Proud Boys for a series of vandalism and fires that the far left carried out in Atlanta on Atlanta police vehicles and United States Postal Service property during the lead up to the 2020 election. Now, this is a brand new story, or it got published on March 4th. But I mean, you had these people, this kind of what I'm saying is this kind of stuff happens all the time. You just don't see it, right? John Wesley, Ellie Melvin, and Vida Jones were arrested in late October on federal charges in connection with the string of incidents. They tried to frame the Proud Boys by leaving notes near the site of vandalism that read, "Stand by," a reference to when former President Donald Trump told right-wingers to stand back and stand by after he was asked to condemn people during the 2020 election. Okay. Like, this stuff, by the way, happens all the time. Look at what's that one group that like set all those people up with like torches and stuff like that, and they're like hoaxes. Is it the Lincoln Group? I don't know exactly who they are, but these are people that like are out there. Here is dude buying the gas can. People are out there committing these crimes and trying to literally like stoke hate. 3 black men commit these crimes and try to blame the Proud Boys, which I don't think is exclusively white, but I don't know that much about them. I don't really care, to be honest with you. They seem like a group of people that, as long as they're following the law, I don't really care what they're about or what they're up to. It's the same with these, like, a lot of these peaceful protesters from the Summer of Love. Like, go protest all you want. I don't care. But when you burn down cities in my state, like Kenosha, then I have a problem. And you have just I think you're going to see more of this, to be honest with you, in the lead up to the next election. And I think that Jussie is almost certainly going to end up having to serve this sentence. Almost certain. And the fact that you're trying to sue the Osundario brothers, again, that's not a good look. The fact that your attorneys are getting sued by them, that's not a good look. The fact that your family, your brothers, and all these people continue to speak out on your behalf, that's not a good look. But he's delusional. Truly delusional. And so is his brother. His brother accuses the PD of misconduct. Based on what? Nothing. Clear my brother's name, he said, of the 39-year-old actor. Make sure this appeal clears my brother's name. You have a liability on your hand. Anyone with intelligence at the state level should understand that. Oh, okay. There's absolutely no evidence that Jussie did this. What? You mean like all of the evidence? If by no evidence, do you mean tons of evidence? I don't get it. Is it just because you think because he went up there and just denied it that that's evidence that he didn't do it? The CPD went on a smear campaign in my brother's name. What? And all these people, by the way, are all too happy to post their messages to Jussie Smollett's Instagram, which, by the way, has 4.4 million followers, and this post got a pathetic 9,000 likes. And anybody liking this is literally just as delusional as Jussie. This will probably be the last update for a long time, because if anybody around Jussie Smollett cares about him, they're telling him to keep his head down and stop with this madness. We probably won't see any kind of court information for, well, long after I'm banned from YouTube. But it's sure been a fun ride. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.